So, is nutrition an emergency? With this rise of worldwide overnutrition, are we seeing increasing incidence of deficiency? In graduate school, I learned about these illnesses of deficiency: scurvy, vitamin C deficiency, pellagra, rickets, vitamin D deficiency. I have yet to see that in my practice. In 26 years in the 27 years in the health and fitness industry, I have yet to see disease of deficiency. What I see every single day with the clients that I work with around the world is chronic disease, partly at least caused from overnutrition. If there's any consistent message over the last century, it's that too much nutrition is not better than not enough. What advantage does our plant-based diet confer? Well, we know that beyond the fuel components of nutrition, the protein, carbohydrates, and fat, which we'll talk about soon, we do have a finite number of vitamin and mineral needs to be met. Most of the vitamin-based nutrition is synthesized by plants, and the mineral-based requirements are conveyed by the plants through the soil. They're photosynthesized into more complex biomolecules to sustain plant life, defense, and reproduction. Then animals that eat these plants further concentrate various important nutrients, but unfortunately, they also concentrate some unhealthy biologically active molecules. So this becomes this tenuous balance of getting enough of the right thing and not too much of the wrong thing. But our general response, what we're taught as healthcare professionals from this position of deficiency, is always centering on more is better. And as we will see, the health span and longevity evidence doesn't support that position. If you look at these studies, using dietary restriction without malnutrition, yeasts, worms, flies, mice, and monkeys have demonstrated an increase in lifespan and health span with the reduction. Restricting their diet by about 30 to 40% of ad libitum feeding, as much as they want, can increase lifespan up to 50%. In these higher level mammals using dietary restriction, we see protection against certain cancers, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, autoimmune disease, and protection against neurodegeneration. Their short-term human trials demonstrate many of the same early biomarkers seen in other organisms. If you break, So as you can see, it doesn't seem like more is better, and we're not in a crisis in terms of getting enough. Perhaps less may be more. So the next question, carbohydrates. Cotton, the chitin of crab shells, paper, potatoes, beans, sugar, and whole grains. These are all carbohydrates. But would these all be in one category if we didn't use the term carbohydrates? They're all isometabolic, but they're not for humans, right? It's like comparing apples to orange juice. And as long as we call all of these substances carbs or carbohydrates, we're all going to stay confused. I don't think anyone here would put a wonderful health promoting lentil stew in the same category as an average fortified sugar-laden breakfast cereal. However, there are plenty of randomized, blinded, controlled gold standard studies juggling macronutrient ratios that do exactly this. The question not asked often enough is, compared to what? By organizing these isoenergetic groups into all the same category, we've created this unimaginable mess and fueled endless unproductive debates on carbs and fats and low carb, low fat, high carb, low. It's just gotten absolutely insane and confusing. Here's another example. How many of you would consider a potato a carbohydrate? Well, while many of us want to dietarily equate a whole potato with highly processed junk food like potato chips or French fries, It's completely inappropriate to do so, and it's led to some poor national food policy positions and consumer guidelines. In this book by Jennifer Wolfe, her scholarly work, The Potato in the Human Diet, she points out that contrary to popular opinion, potatoes are actually rich sources of energy and poor sources of protein, vitamins, and minerals. The evidence is clear that unless it's fried, potatoes contain high quality protein and many nutrients. If the daily calorie requirements are met, a potato can become a sole source of dietary protein. You can Google this, ask Dr. Google, and if you look at the data from the USDA nutrient database to back this up, a baked potato gram for gram actually has what's known as a amino acid score that's better than 90% lean beef. That here 100 is a complete protein. So by this point, macro confusion is the term that I like to talk about this as. It should be abundantly clear, a carbohydrate is not a food group. Potatoes are sources of dietary protein. And so it's like, if you say that, it's nutritional heresy. But the facts are clear, and we all know that protein is not a problem.